All right, that takes us out of our scouting report for today. And then now it's the namesake. And in a long one today, a beefy pod, the game pitch. JD, pitch me a game.
Here's the thing. So in my neighborhood, we have this house that is pretty close to us that just has this penchant for drama. And it's not that they create the drama intentionally, but just the very existence of this house and the mannerisms and the way that they conduct themselves just creates friction with literally everybody else in our neighborhood. Okay. And to give you an example, the police have been at this house pretty much every other month since we've moved in to our house.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's not good. What's also not good is that me and my wife have this insatiable curiosity to know what is happening at that house. So we have like logged on to like online police scanners and like looked at online crime reports to see if that address like shows up. Like it is very much we are desperate to know what happens inside those four walls. There is the foundation of the game, and the game is going to be called Cuffed. And so it's the artistic style is, imagine the show Cops, where it's very kind of first person-y, very shaky cam. It's very high intensity, right? That's the artistic style. And the gameplay is that there's cases that you have to go into, and the cases have very specific paths. So there's like hostage ones, there's active shooter, along that vein, right?
Yeah.
And each case is timed. And in that case, you have a very specific set of objectives that you have to accomplish. And so to vary it up, like different cases will have different skills that you have to develop. So negotiating for like a hostage one, or like if you're going into a shooting situation, like FPS skills would be important to have. And then as you move through the lines of, the case files and the case buildup you have for, let's say, hostage, you would start to unlock better skills that would then maybe help you solve different cases in a different series of crimes, right?
Gotcha. Yep.
So that's the core of the gameplay. The UI for navigating it, though, is a police blotter. So on the main screen, you could like move your cursor or move your joystick around little like radio icons and hear what the police blotter would be for that crime in progress. So you get no visual cue of what you're going into for the mission. You just hear what's getting reported over the radio. And so it could be detailed. It could be scant for details, and objectives show up as you get over to that mission as it loads. And so the loading screen would be the recording of, like such and such crime is in progress. This is what's being reported, right? And so you might get like, oh, cool. Like I know exactly who the perp is and what I need to go do. Or it might be like unidentified shooter is on site, right? And
Gotcha.
so then that kind of goes back to like in a certain like investigative line of crimes, maybe you unlock some skills that help you identify things very quickly, which then would help you with those missions where you don't get as much data going into them.
Yeah.
And so that's my pitch this week. It's called Cuffed.
I want you to make this, and it sounds like there's a house in your neighborhood where you could go knock on the door and you can get some background research. You can say, hey, I'm making this video game.
It's loosely based on how terrible you are.
I've noticed the police have been here many times. Is there any information you can give me? It's all for research.
And then when I don't show up for the pod next week, you'll know why.
Okay, so Cuffed, and I like what you're saying with the loading screens and then how you get information. When you were talking about getting, going down certain, like the hostage tree or like the series of levels and stuff like that, it sounded like you would get like more abilities or more information that could help you in other levels, right? It's like,
yeah, exactly. So like if you're doing like cases that require you to investigate crime that's already happened, then though in that path, maybe you learn some better skills about how to quickly identify things, right? And so then
gotcha.
you have that skill now in your skill tree. And so if you go into a mission where as you load in on the report, it's like, hey, unidentified person, well, because you have that skill that helps you identify things quicker, it would help you solve it. Whereas if you went in without that, you could maybe find the wrong thing and, maybe you shoot someone that you're not supposed to. I don't know. And then you get put on probation.
Yeah, it's like a Mega Man, the bosses, whatever order you do them in matters, because then your weapon helps you at a different boss. Yeah, that's awesome. I like it.
Same
Cuffed.
idea. Yep.
Cuffed. Coming to Google Stadia, the 11th game.
On a blockbuster year for Stadia.
You thought 10 was too many.
We're going to turn it up to 11.